Yep.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Teacher, good morning.
Good.
Oh,
Good afternoon.
just erase this part, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Teacher, good afternoon. I'm
Good
glad to
afternoon.
see you again
Yeah,
during
nice to
your planning time.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me today to observe your
It is my pleasure.
your first period class, and this lesson is about quadratic functions. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you think the lesson went overall?
Overall, I would say maybe 40% good because the technology just put me off track.
I know, right?
The screen normally works, didn't work, and if I had to copy things on the board, that just takes too much time.
That's true.
And instead of 5 minutes for activity, it took 20 minutes. So we just couldn't finish. That's what I would say. Because of the technology environment didn't work this morning. Yeah, that's basically.
But I like how you made plans for that, because I was looking at your worksheet earlier,
Yep.
and your worksheet captured many of those things that you should have shown in video.
Yep.
So kudos for having that foresight that in
Yep.
case things would go south, you're still able to teach that class, and students will still comprehend what's going on. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I think what I'm going to say first is I like how you started your lesson.
Okay.
Going around and checking on everybody. I think it's very important that you start with that. It really gives the kids that sense that this is a safe space, that they can be free and just enjoy their learning time with you. So that's a great thing that you're starting with us. Are you doing that every day? Every time you have a lesson,
no.
you do that?
No, we have to do 5 videos for the certification program.
No. I'm talking about how you would ask kids about.
Oh yes.
You're doing that every day, huh?
As Ms. Bala, I was trying to copy great notes, right? Make sure class participation includes notes, note taking, and actually participating, and actually following the worksheet to the T. Right, from step 3, whatever I'm saying is on your worksheet, and I need to see that you're following. If you don't do that, they even though we have taken their phones, they have videos on their computers. They'll have something else to do.
But as you said, every day you're starting with that, checking on their how they are, how they're feeling.
Yeah, whether they are really here or they're somewhere.
Yes. So.
You mean in terms of emotions?
Yes, in terms of emotions, you're doing that every day.
We started that, and then we left out a little bit, but now we really want to bring it back to make sure there's emotional checking through canvas checking. If the board was working, then as you were sitting here, you would have seen how it's coming, and you see all of them sharing. Some share pictures, some share the last dinner they had. That's what makes them happy, and so on. Yeah.
I was looking also at the objectives. I think you have that in your presentation.
Yes.
But because you're not able to project, so I was trying to read what your objectives are based on what you've written on the board.
Yes.
So and maybe in cases where you have this, where you're not able to project that on the board, so in order for them to probably understand better what's going on.
Yeah.
So if you could maybe ask them to read that, to repeat those.
Also, even though it's on our worksheet, we want them to read it out. So.
Yes, maybe read it out, so they have that really consciousness of what is going on, and maybe if they can say that in their own words, they own that objectives.
Okay.
If there's any word already that they don't understand. Yeah. And because that would help you segue to the vocabulary for the day.
Yes.
So basically, the big things that they should be understanding or learning, the new words that they encounter in this lesson, including, for example, let's say quadratic functions. Are they able to define that already in previous lessons, or this is the first time they're hearing that from you?
It's nice you're asking that question. All together with the other class, we've noticed even from the common assessments, they have problems reading or constructing functions, except when they do them on decimals, because they just type it in. So we're still thinking that our first data instruction day will still be on functions. Doesn't change. It's still the problem. They look at the graph, they're not strong on reading the graph or constructing it manually. They can do it with decimals and click, but.
So you're saying to me there are problems reading the questions, right?
Yes. So reading graphs.
Reading graphs. So
reading or constructing graphs manually.
So what's your strategy? How do you try?
I think because the percentage of those who can't do that is so high, I think we will do another instruction day.
Okay.
We'll do instruction day only on that. In fact, starting right back, not just quadratic, but from linear, and make sure they know how to construct graphs from tables and do that manually. We have a bunch of rulers over there already, so they can actually do it manually.
That's good. And for kinesthetic learners, that would be great. You know, they can manipulate stuff. They could, and visual learners too. They can draw. They can move their hands. You know, move around and try to be kinesthetic with what they're trying to do. So now, maybe you had plans for this, but when I was looking at you constructing those tables,
Yes.
Putting in values, how do you feel about? Did students really get connected to that table when you were presenting that, or they kind of, I know it took you time. It took you time for them to really. Well, you're noticing. I was looking at, it's 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but you stayed with that. You stayed with that noticing thing. What made you decide to stay long in that part of the lesson?
Well, I got very good question, because I got that the insight from doing linear patterns.
Okay.
I took 3 days. I waited on them for 3 days, but when they got it, it stick for them. Because when I tell them a pattern, they'll forget. Each time I tell them the answer very quickly, they forget. I wanted to stick there so that they actually remember that the quadratic pattern is second difference. So they can actually see on the table, not just on a theoretical basis. They can actually see, if you actually construct numbers, you actually get the second constant difference. And they finally got it. Majority of them, I would say majority of them finally got it, but that's why. I stayed there because you told us yesterday at the workshop. You should give enough time for students to think and answer. Right?
And I like how you also have that in their worksheets, the completed table.
Yes.
But I maybe consider this in your future lesson. Instead of a table that's completed ahead of time, maybe you can work with them, or they work among themselves, filling those columns one at a time.
Okay, so they can actually complete
it. They can actually complete it, because the more they do that, probably the more they're able to grasp what's going on and see how the values change from one to the next table. So just consider that in your future lesson. And one thing I would like also to suggest, if you allow me, is to consider multiple representations. Like quadratic functions, to give kids different ways with which to access learning. So, for instance, you have the table. Why not put a graph side by side with a table?
Or side by side.
Side by side with a
table. So we did it, but not side by side. So put them side by side.
So you put them side by side. Consider maybe a description. Like how would you describe? I saw you like showing them bouncing. You said bouncing the ball. So maybe they can see what's going on descriptively for those linguistic learners, and also for those visually they can see the graph, and for the more mathematically inclined, they can make sense of how the values changes on the table. So
algebraic equation.
Yes. So just consider that for the future, because there are different ways to learn, so different ways to access. So it's always nice to have that. So you think you're able to complete what you intend to complete today, based on everything, the technology issue, their levels?
I wasn't, because I wanted to end up with actually getting the real world problem, so that they get it crystal clear between the theory of quadratics and actually real life. For example, I said the ball starts at 6 feet at my waist level, right?
Okay.
I wanted to show them where the initial intercept, where t is equals to 0, time is equals to 0. So I wanted to make sure that you know why is the time t equals to 0 here? Because you're not the only thing here. Right? I wanted to get that thing, follow the journey right up to the ground. Why you actually we started, but we didn't really get to that part where they actually see, okay, that's the life of a ball, or an ball coming down, or going, or the one that you bounce, it goes down before it comes up, right? Which is the opposite. I wanted to really get to that, emphasize that at the end, but because of the technology, we didn't really get that.
So this lesson, because you're not able to do that, you're going to continue with this next class to go to the worksheet? And
yes, we have to finish, because not only that, I looked at the common assessment 2-1 that's coming up. It's all about projectiles. It's all about parabolas, right? And you really have to know people diving into the water, people throw the basketball, right? It's there. Somebody stands on the roof of a house and throws a ball. It's all about But you have to know where it starts, and know the coordinates, know when the vertex and when it lands. The question, all the good problems are around that. So I really have to not only emphasize on the next class, but the next 3 or 4 classes will be on that.
But
Practical problems.
now, just remember, vocabulary is very important here.
Yeah.
So make sure you keep going back to those terms, academic vocabulary.
Maybe expand that, right?
Yes, expand that. Make sure they use that in the response to you. Make sure you keep using that in your examples.
Yeah.
And I know you plan on having a interactive word wall.
Yes.
So at this time, your word wall should already contain those terms.
Yep.
Zeros, what's this? The intercepts.
Yep.
Yep. The highest point, the lowest point. Maybe including whether it's going up, going down. They have all those visuals, so they can, as you give them the problems, they can relate to that in your word wall as well. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So just a quick question: if there's anything you want to change from today's lesson based on everything, the tech issue, where they're at really in terms of knowledge, is there anything that you would like change if you were to
In terms of
teach
knowledge
this again?
for the students,
This lesson, if you'll be teaching this again, knowing what you know
to
now.
make sure that I have multiple backup plans for technology.
Okay.
That digital board, one is not there. When I project the worksheet, is much easier. If I have, if I projected the worksheet and then fill in the tables that we're saying, it will be easier to just fill in the numbers and so on and deal with them.
That's true.
But I couldn't project it, and that is a whole. Yeah, even though they have it on their worksheet, right? But the whole class needs to participate, right? To focus. If they have to look down, you don't know what else they're doing. Are they typing or working on other assignments? You don't know. So I would need to make up maybe backup plans, get my bigger project. How do you call it? Some other ways to project, because that can really be.
That's true.
It can set you back years. And then also, remember this thinking boards here. We still don't apply them well. I would have asked them to work on this today, but because we have problems, right? We see how they are. You write sometimes they get weight. We don't really know what's going on.
Okay.
I bought 200 pens though.
200.
Yeah, I have 200 pens in there and dusters. We just need to find a way to be able to implement this in there.
Okay.
So we can do the thing and talk following your last seminar before the one yesterday.
Okay.
That will also increase participation.
That's true.
Yeah.
And there's movement. You want.
And there's movement, there's energy around. Yeah. That is, in fact, is like the goal. When you talk about this, that for me, that is the most interesting thing. Yeah. Because there's nothing. They move around, they engage with each other, there's nothing else. They're focused.
And that's really what you want to achieve. It's not even about whether what you're doing, what the problems are correct or not. It's the dynamics that you want to see among them. That agency that you want to build with those kids. The expertise will come later, but that culture of learning, it needs to be there at the very beginning.
In fact, they surprise themselves when they discuss together.
Nice.
If they surprise me, they surprise themselves. Say, "Oh, we found it! We found it!"
That's good.
They get excited. So I think that's why you see I push the chairs a little bit ahead.
Yes.
So they can move around. Yeah, they move around. And then we'll remove this so that they can put, I've already given assignments on the word wall, assignments to this, I gave them those word tasks I showed you.
Yeah.
They're working on it, we'll remove this so we can put them here and maybe shift some of this to another one. Yeah.
So before we end the session, do you have any questions for me?
Well, it's a question, but from what you're seeing, like the talk we had today, if there's anything that we can use in, tips, I will send you the next lesson probably.
Okay.
So that if you have any tips you can say in terms of this, especially in terms of the inter standards. Say, okay, I'm looking at your lesson here, but what about the emotional part? What activity, right? What activity? Because all these activities from you have all especially in terms of looking at the lesson plan.
Okay.
And if you look at my bell-to-bell schedule, you say, oh, you're doing this in your warm-up, right? This exit ticket doesn't really reflect, well, how would this link to the next lesson and so on? Yeah. I would say one word activity. You see, this is part of the activities, right? Activities are key. Because this isn't all the lessons, but if the activities don't reflect those teaching standards, then the next video will be standards 1, 2, and 3.
All 3 standards.
Yeah, so you will need to show activities that show all 3 standards. By the time we finish, we show all 10 standards.
Okay, so thanks for having me today.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you
So
so
good
much.
luck.
Okay. Okay.
I did not work.
Yeah.
Work well.